Hey guys, welcome back to the MJ Gooner podcast right here for the post-match review. Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0. How annoying that result turns out to be. And at the same time, I'm very glad that we won the game against Luton because I feel like, you know what, if we somehow couldn't win against Luton, then we have to win against Aston Villa. But because we beat Luton in the last minute, with the last minute header from Declan Rice, and I thought, at the back of my mind, I wouldn't be too surprised that we drop points against Aston Villa. But right now, when you look back at the game today, you felt like, wow, Aston Villa beat Man City 1-0 a few days ago. And you thought, holy crap. They have like 20-something shots. Man City only have 2. And you thought, okay, Seems like Aston Villa certainly is going to turn up against Arsenal. They might be able to replicate the stats, the dominant display against Arsenal, and that was the reason why I thought, you know what, we might not be actually winning the game because we all know how strong Aston Villa can be when they're at home. I believe they have won their last 15 games at home, and the last time they lost at home was against Arsenal, 4-2 win. But that's the thing. That's what I thought the entire time. And today, it was completely out of shock. I have no clue how Arsenal didn't get something out of it. I'm not saying that we were definitely going to win the game, but at least we should have probably go out there and try to get something out of it. A draw, a goal, something like that. Let's talk about starting lineup. We all know Tomiyasu might be starting ahead of Tomiyasu might be starting ahead of Zinchenko if Tomiyasu didn't get injured over the weekend against Wolves. And right now, the only change that we made from the Luton game to this game was pretty much Zinchenko coming back on for Kivior. And I think that is right. I mean, I know you want to go defensively because Leon Bailey, what a player. Playing as a right wing, and when you play against Zinchenko, who again always have his own flaws defensively, and I thought, you know what, you might want to put Tomiyasu there just to deal with him, same as when Tomiyasu dealt perfectly against Mohamed Salah. And this might be the game for this might be the game for Tomiyasu, but unfortunately that didn't happen. Right, that did not happen at all. So we just have to implement and adapt to what happened. So Zinchenko back in the side, and guess what? It's the first goal that we conceded was really, really poor. The transition of that play, it was again from Leon Bailey. Just a through ball to Leon Bailey, and Leon Bailey just kind of puts the ball back in the middle, finding John McGinn. And Ben White, I thought he was poor in that one. And I think Ben White has been not having his best of games for the past few weeks. Might be his injury that he has been hindering himself. And of course, you guys can probably say Rice have done better because it's pretty much right next to his head. But from that range, it's just really tough. And all you can blame is, you can't really blame anybody. But should have done better, which I thought Ben White should have done better with the defensive play. I thought he just kind of left so much room for John McGinn. I mean, he was pretty much taking that shot against his own body as well. Twisting and turning, and it's just very hard to watch in a way because, 7 minutes in, we were down by 1 goal. And you thought, how can we pick this up? And we all thought Aston Villa might keep on coming at you like that. Just fast attack, fast counter attack from the wide side. And we all thought, you know what, this is how Aston Villa is going to break us down. But they didn't. Instead, they kind of have their own defensive flaws. And it's very obvious within that 45 minutes. We have been, and you guys can see, Aston Villa weren't at their best today. They kept losing the ball in their own half. But the problem with Arsenal was that we are very sluggish offensively. And we're not getting anywhere offensively at all. And it's just really, really frustrating to watch at times. And it is very, very it is very, very. I just kind of lose the train of thoughts there. It is very frustrating to watch. You just know, you just kind of predict that Arsenal do not have an end product. I mean, Saka, Odegaard. I mean, Saka, I thought in the first half he was pretty bright, if I'm being honest. Odegaard, Martinelli, Jesus, they were like, meh, not good. Well, not great, but it's okay. But that's the thing. Like with this game, there's so many chances going on, and I can't really pinpoint which chance that we should have buried it, because I feel like Aston Villa kept losing the possession in their own half. I mean, we just have to at least get something out of it. Try to test Emi Martinez a little bit if we can, but we don't really have a shot. We don't really have anything that kind of tests Emi Martinez, which is very frustrating, if I'm being honest. I mean, they were wide open. They were playing high line. They were playing like Spurs when they're down by 9 men against Chelsea. And you felt like, wow, I mean, if we click it up front, we would definitely capitalize that, because they're playing high line. We can just put the ball over the defenders, and any of our sprinter can go ahead and do the job. But we've been trying to do that multiple times, but it's either offside or we just can't really find the end product. Jesus I don't think he had a good game. I don't think Odegaard had a good game as well, especially in the first half where the ball just kind of cuts back to Odegaard, and Odegaard was, it was very good laid off by Jesus, but that little finish that he had was just poor. Emi Martinez can see where he was aiming at, and yeah, that was just a poor performance. And even Martinelli down the left flank was just not feeling himself at all. I mean, at times, yes, he can get into the box, but there's, again, no end product. That's all I can say. No end product, not clinical enough in front of goals, and that's cost us dearly today, obviously. In the second half, pretty much, without Mikel Arteta, that is a problem. I don't know how much of a difference Mikel Arteta can make if he wasn't suspended from the last game. I'm sure I think he will be more animated on the touchline or on the technical area. But it's all about if, AirPod Albert can do something about it, channeling that inner Arteta, coaching style. But I mean, you can hardly blame the coaches, but the only party that you can blame was ourselves, the strikers, the players who were on the pitch. And we made the first substitution. It was Martinelli coming off, Trossard coming on as well, and of course there's another chance from Odegaard. If he's having a good day, he would definitely finish that one, but that was a very, very poor miss. And yeah, Trossard coming off, Jesus coming off as well. I feel like Jesus could have probably came off a little bit later. But honestly, I think Trossard was frustrating at times. By the way, there were last moment of the game, I believe. So last 2-3 minutes, he was right outside the box. Could have probably just put the ball into play, put the ball in the box. Just let Saliba, anybody in the middle, just to do a tap in or anything like that. But he wasn't quite performing, and I thought this is the game for Reiss Nelson. What's the point of extending his contract when you're not even using him at all? And I feel like if you take away Martinelli, which is fine, but you feel like, you know what, if you are playing balls or through ball over the defenders, then you would need a runner, right? We don't have any runner except Saka. He might be the fastest player on the pitch after Martinelli, but I felt like Reiss can probably be subbed on a little bit early just to make a difference, but obviously we didn't, and that might potentially cost us. I'm not saying Reiss Nelson might make a difference, but you know what? If you put him on in the last 5 minutes, just, there's no point. Raya, I thought today he was good. I know could have done a little bit better in the first goal, but from that range, you just don't really expect him to save any of that. But I think his distribution, I think his calmness on the ball was better. Made some couple good saves as well. And yeah, and of course, there's another big talking point. Well, before the big talking point, there was a corner kick, swings it in. There's miscommunication between Emi Martinez and also Ollie Watkins. Imagine that went in. I'll be happy because I think it might be counted as an own goal for Emi Martinez regardless, but the ball didn't go in. And this is the part, the VAR thing, the fouls. I try not to go over it at times because it's just very repetitive, just very boring, but I just need to talk about this. It is infuriating. It is mad. I mean, the first one, Gabriel Jesus, it was a concept, kicked him, or Diego Carlos kicked him at the Achilles area. Clearly didn't get the ball. Referee thought it was soft, and there's no penalty. Very frustrating, and it's just really, really tough. If I'm being honest, just really, really hard to watch. What's another one? Oh, the one against Eddie. Diego Carlos literally took him out with his elbow. He got a yellow card for that, which is stupid. Very, very stupid. And the last talking point, and also the last part of the podcast, is the disallowed goal. I thought I wasn't celebrating because I knew something would be, something would be up against us. And when you look at the replay, I mean, Kai Havertz, I thought today, if we won this game, we tied this game, he is definitely our man of the match. I thought he played brilliant today. But the handball was just so soft. What are you supposed to do in that situation? The ball just kind of bouncing in between Matty Cash and also Kai Havertz. And in a very natural position, he didn't intentionally try and knock the ball into himself for his own favor at all. Nothing like that at all. Finished that one in. The referee thought, it's a clear, disallowed goal. And the VAR decided to stand with the on-field decision, which is very frustrating. It's just tiring to see this day in, day out. It's just crazy. Well, I genuinely don't know what to say. It's just tough. It's just really, really tough to see that, if I'm being honest. It's just crazy. I already kind of envision how that situation to be played if humans have no arms. It would be crazy, by the way. Well, that was disallowed, and I knew I just felt like, the way how we played, we're so dominating. We kept the majority of possession with tons of attempts. Based on those stats, I was leaning towards, can we get a point? Can we score a win or something like that? But we didn't because, again, not clinical enough. And in the end, it cost us. I don't want to say VAR cost us because I feel like without the VAR or without that decision, I felt like in a lot of ways we should have done better. And second loss of the season, by the way. For a second loss in the Premier League, well, we're sitting in second right now after Liverpool had a late comeback. And we're playing against PSV in the next game on Tuesday, which honestly doesn't quite matter a lot. But it would be nice to win. I would rather, we put some reserve or fringe player against PSV, save up the legs for Brighton, Liverpool, and West Ham. And, to finish those 3 games off, then we're pretty much done with the halfway of the season, by the way. So I'm not particularly too disappointed with today's game, but definitely quite annoyed, thinking how turns out we were way dominating than what's it called than Aston Villa. So, well, I guess it's not our day today, but I'm sure we're gonna come back, fight again. And hopefully we're going to get a good result against PSV. And next week we're playing against Brighton. That is going to be a tasty fixture. By the way, we haven't beaten against Brighton at home for years. I don't remember the last time we did that. But against the Serbs, it's going to be tough anyway. But against PSV away, hopefully we're going to see some changes in the team. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. enjoy this podcast as well. Like this podcast. Do all the good stuff to this podcast, and I'll see you guys in a bit.